It's 1-1. It's on this side of the street. It's him. He came out of the house. Watch out. Put your hands up. Put your hands up now. Put your hands up. Put him up. Put him up. Don't let him back on this shit. Shut up. Holy
watch it. They got the dog up there. They're upstairs. I got contact. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Get him out. Watch. Is anyone else in the house?
My daughters and my sister.
Where are they? Are they hurt?
They're in this bedroom.
Are they hurt?
No, not in any way.
Okay, where's the weapon?
They're outside. I used her on her.
The community is heartbroken over the loss of a teacher and a mother who was murdered. Aisha Frazier's ex-husband, former Cuyahoga County Judge Lance Mason, now in police custody.
Talking about her sorority sisters, some have known her since the 3rd grade. They say there were gaps in the system, gaps they could have helped her avoid.
She survived his fists, but she never imagined she'd face his knife. When Aisha Frazier, a cherished schoolteacher and devoted mother, pulled into her ex-husband's driveway on a chilly November morning in 2018, she had no idea it would be the last time she'd see her daughters alive. What was supposed to be a routine custody drop-off turned into a brutal execution, right in front of their children. Her ex-husband, Lance Mason, wasn't just any man. He was a respected former judge and state senator. A man trusted by the law. A man who had once shattered Aisha's face with his bare hands, punching, biting, and slamming her head into the dashboard, all while their children screamed from the back seat.
All right, calm down so you can get some help, okay?
Aisha Mason.
911, Shaker Police Emergency.
Yes, my husband just beat me and threw me out the car. He has my 2 daughters in the car.
Where you at?
Van Aken Boulevard.
Yeah.
And Avalon. He just threw me out the car. Orange Saturn View 2008. I'm afraid he's going to hurt my daughters.
Is he with you now, or did he
No,
drive off?
He drove off.
Which way on Van Aken?
He went,
He served just 9 months. Not only was Mason released early, but he was also hired into a government job, welcomed back into public life while Aisha was left to rebuild hers in silence. But the system failed her, again. On that November day, Mason didn't just take Aisha's life. He ignited national outrage and forced a brutal reckoning about how our justice system protects abusers over victims. This is the haunting story of Aisha Frazier, and how the very institutions meant to protect her allowed a monster to come home again. Why was a man with blood on his hands ever trusted again? Welcome to Truth and Crime. Make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss stories like this one. This story takes us to Shaker Heights, Ohio, a historic and seemingly peaceful suburb just east of Cleveland. But it was in this very community, nestled in tree-lined streets and family homes, where a tragedy unfolded that would shake residents to their core. This is where the heartbreaking story of Aisha Frazier begins. Born on January 18, 1973, Aisha was raised in a home built on love, values, and strong family principles, qualities that shone through in every chapter of her life. She grew up in Shaker Heights, the same neighborhood where she would one day pour her heart into shaping young minds as a beloved schoolteacher. A proud graduate of Shaker Heights High School, Aisha later earned her bachelor's degree from Florida A&M University, followed by advanced degrees in education and business from Ursuline College. She was also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta, a historically black sorority devoted to public service. Though she began her professional journey in the business world, Aisha felt a deeper calling. In 2002, she found her purpose in education, becoming a 6th-grade history and math teacher at Woodbury Elementary. Her students adored her. To many, she wasn't just a teacher, she was a second mom, a mentor, a safe place. Known for her kind spirit and infectious smile, she often stayed after hours just to help a struggling child or comfort one who needed to be heard. She made sure we felt seen, one student recalled. A colleague added, she always stayed late, always smiled, always gave. Aisha was also a devoted mother to 2 daughters, Audrey and Ava. Audrey, the elder, was 11 at the time of Aisha's death, and Ava was just 8. Aisha's world revolved around them, especially Audrey, who had special needs. Friends say she constantly put her daughter's needs ahead of her own, doing everything she could to provide stability and love, despite the dangerous challenges she faced behind the scenes. At the center of those challenges stood one man, her ex-husband, Lance Mason. Even after their marriage ended, his shadow loomed large over her life. Lance was once admired in the public eye, a former state senator and Cuyahoga County judge, known for his charm and rising political clout. But behind closed doors he was someone very different. He and Aisha once shared a home, a life, and their 2 daughters. What began as a promising relationship slowly turned into something far darker. In 2014, that darkness erupted into violence. During a car ride home from a family funeral, Lance launched a vicious attack, beating Aisha in front of their children. He punched her, bit her, slammed her head into the car's interior and then onto the pavement. The injuries were horrifying, she needed facial reconstruction. And in the chaos, Aisha managed to call 911, leaving a chilling record of the brutality she endured.
All right, calm down so you can get some help, okay?
Aisha Mason.
911, Shaker Police Emergency.
Yes, my husband just beat me and threw me out the car. He has my 2 daughters in the car.
Where you at?
Van Aken Boulevard.
Yeah.
And like Avalon. He just threw me out the car. Orange Saturn View 2008. I'm afraid he's going to hurt my daughters.
Is he with you now, or did he
No,
drive off?
He drove off.
Which way on Van Aken?
He went going down towards the police station. He probably hit Chagrin.
Okay, yeah, somebody else called about that. Where are you calling? What's your phone number? Where would you call you?
They're taking me to South Point now.
Who's taking you to South Point?
Some nice people in the car stopped. I jumped in.
You in the car now?
In another person's car. Please find my kids.
Are you injured?
Yes. I need some air. Oh.
Is it like, yeah, because we're going to, so do you want an officer to meet you up at South Point then?
Yes, but find my kids. Saturn View, 2008.
Do you know the plate? Do you have the plate? Do you have the plate? Do you know the plate on it?
It's, YME 479 or something like that. YME.
Car 2214-252, just be advised, I'm speaking to the victim, the wife, and she got picked up by another vehicle, and she's going to South Point. Where are you at right now?
I'm heading up Van Aken.
She exited that orange vehicle, and she got picked up by a passerby.
Okay. Where's she at?
Hold on a second.
Do you have another phone? If you dial 921.
That's right. Yeah, ma'am, what's your first name?
Aisha.
Aisha? Okay,
Yes.
Can you tell that driver just to stop where you're at, and we're going to have the squad meet you.
Oh, okay.
An officer, okay? So where are you going to be pulling over at?
We're at this church, St. Peter's
Dominic's?
Lutheran Church. No,
What?
St. Peter's Lutheran Church. They want you to pull over and park.
So where are you at exactly?
St. Peter's Lutheran Church at Van Aken and Ingleside. Did you find the car?
52252, the vehicle stopped at Van Aken Ingleside. I'm going to have the squad respond there.
Did you find the
What kind of car are you in?
It's a black. What is this? They have the flashes on. It's a black. What kind of car is this? Mercedes.
A black Mercedes?
Yes, did you find the Saturn
She's
view?
going to be in black Mercedes with her flashes on, Van Aken, Ingleside. I'm calling the squad now.
They're here. Did you find the Saturn view?
Are you with an officer, ma'am?
Yeah, they just pulled up. Did
Okay.
you find the Saturn view? Did you find my kids?
Just 2 days later, she filed for divorce from Lance Mason. Though their marriage was legally over by 2015, their connection didn't completely end. Co-parenting their 2 young daughters meant there would still be limited but unavoidable contact between them. Lance served time for the brutal 2014 assault, but despite the severity of his crime, he was released after only 9 months.
Frank, we told you last night that Lance Mason wasn't allowed any contact with his ex-wife. That was a condition of his early release from prison. Now we've confirmed she also had an order of protection against him. According to court records, Aisha Frazier got that order of protection back in 2014.
He completed his probation without further incident, attended anger management classes, and shockingly, was able to land a city government job. Powerful allies vouched for him, insisting he deserved a second chance.
That we hire many ex-felons, and almost all of them turn out well, because we have second chance as part of what we do as a policy.
Meanwhile, Aisha tried to rebuild. She focused on her girls and eventually began a new chapter in her life, entering a relationship with a man named Ronald Williams. For the first time in a long while, she seemed truly happy. To the outside world, Lance Mason didn't look like a threat. He had no prior criminal record before the assault, was highly educated, deeply connected, and had once served as a judge and legislator. He was someone people trusted to uphold the law. But those who truly knew Aisha understood the truth. She lived in quiet fear. She bore the heavy responsibility of keeping her daughters safe. Every custody exchange was filled with silent tension, a moment that felt like holding her breath. And no one could have imagined that a relationship once built on love and dreams would spiral into unimaginable violence. It was the morning of Saturday, November 17, 2018, in the quiet Cleveland suburb of Shaker Heights when the unthinkable happened. Aisha Frazier, 45, drove to Lance's home on Chagrin Boulevard for a routine custody drop-off. A simple handoff, something that had happened many times before, was about to become a nightmare. As Aisha began helping her daughters out of the car, her Uncle George later recounted what happened next. Lance suddenly and savagely attacked. In broad daylight, with their children nearby, the former judge unleashed a level of violence that would forever alter countless lives. Aisha was stabbed repeatedly in front of Audrey and Ava, her 2 girls witnessing their mother's final moments. Inside the house was Lance's sister Lynn. Horrified, she grabbed the phone and dialed 911 in a panic. "I need the police immediately. My brother is attacking his ex-wife. He stabbed her and he said she's dead." As police responded, a Shaker Heights officer arrived at the scene and stepped out of his patrol car. But before he could take action, Lance rammed Aisha's Audi SUV into the officer and his cruiser. The impact was devastating. The officer suffered multiple fractures in his legs and ribs, while both vehicles were completely wrecked. The scene quickly escalated, and additional officers rushed to the address. But the damage, emotional, physical, and irreversible, had already been done.
Hey, is it that house?
I don't know. Spot it now.
It's 1-1. It's on this side of the street. It's him. He came out of the house. It's him. Watch out. Put your hands up. Put your hands up now. Put your hands up. Put him up. Put him up. You're gonna get shot! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Don't let him break this shit! Shut up!
Watch it. They got the dog up there. They're upstairs. I got contact. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. Get him out. Watch. Is anyone else in the house?
My daughters and my sister.
Where are they? Are they hurt?
They're in this bedroom.
Are they hurt?
No, not in any way.
Okay, where's the weapon?
They're outside. I used their arm right.
Any possibility of Hep C, anything like that, blood-related pathogen?
No.
Okay.
Is anyone else injured in this house?
No.
All right, roll to your side. Let's get you on your feet.
Stand on feet.
Yep.
Who's upstairs?
Wait, hang on.
Neighbor. I have no weapons.
All right, on your feet. Here, sit on your butt. All right.
Chad, make sure
Let's get on your knees.
Get him out.
On your knees.
Hold on this. I need to put my dog up here.
All the way up.
I'll clear it with him. It's fine.
Oh, you got someone with you?
Okay, hang on.
Let's get him out. You got him?
Got him?
I gotta
His wrist is squirting out blood. We need him to the ambulance
Okay.
now.
Let's
Squirting out
go.
blood. Squirting out blood. Go.
Okay. Come on.
Go ahead, guys.
Watch. Where's the ambulance at?
Thank you.
Hold him up with the back with your hands. Where's?
Stay with him.
I am.
You got him? You stay with him. All right.
All right. We need another squad.
We need another squad out here. Sit him down. Stop.
He's bleeding out. Let's go. No, he's not bleeding out.
You need to be operational?
Okay, have a seat right here. Were you hit anywhere, or were you stabbed at all?
Only if I hurt myself.
Put him up. He's just a hindrance. 2 people uninjured in there. Here.
3 people.
3 people uninjured?
Yeah, my 2 daughters, and I cannot believe I did this.
I need you to do security for these 2 people that are coming out. Hey, we need to move him out of here. Move him out of the front door. Put him down over here.
Okay, come on this way.
Move him out. Move him out of the way.
He is bleeding from his hands.
Okay. All right.
So we'll need him in this ambulance.
I'm the patrol officer right there.
Right this way.
Come here. Hi.
I'm not gonna make it.
He told me he has nothing to say after I Mirandized him. Are you the only male that was in that house at the time?
Yeah.
So far, he was the only male in the house at the time.
You may have to try to get it.
Right?
No, I would think here.
Yeah, I would go that way. Yeah.
Got a smaller cut above it. Right hand.
Okay.
See the smaller one right here?
Yeah. Is that one spurting now?
That one's not spurting. That one's
Okay.
just oozing.
Okay.
Bring this finger. There you go.
Kind of this one because I said it's black. This one's red.
I'm gonna have to get
Turn for triage. This one, right?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Tourniquet the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we do.
No possibility of Hep C, any bloodborne issues.
Copy. Thank you.
Yep.
What?
Is that thing? Yeah, let's crank the fuck out of that thing. Like it's gonna hurt.
Now that it's bandaged up, I can't tell if it's stopped, but I'm gonna go check this car.
How does your right arm feel? Okay, tighten the f out of that thing. I don't give a shit. That thing is, it's gonna like hurt to fuck move.
Hey guys, just put your ET kit back in here.
10-4.
All right, that's probably good. That looked pretty hard to tighten up. Yeah.
All right, we got someone going with us?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're going to go down.
I don't know if it's exactly going to be me, but I'm not letting him out of my sight.
I'm going to sit here all day, so I don't want you to think that I'm not running away from you, but...
If you guys could just pull his pants up when able. It was, definitely. It was squirting out. Yeah.
The same? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got that digit. We've got a pretty good lack on that. It's about ready to...
The attack on Aisha Fraser didn't just leave her with a fractured orbital bone. It left her with wounds that ran far deeper than what any X-ray or doctor's report could ever reveal. A fractured orbital bone is a serious injury. It means the bone surrounding her eye socket was broken, likely from the force of repeated blows to the face. The pain would have been excruciating, the swelling immediate, and the damage visible for weeks, if not months. She required reconstructive surgery just to begin the physical healing process. But physical wounds, no matter how severe, can often be treated. What lingered most were the invisible wounds, the emotional scars that followed her every day after that violent encounter. Aisha had been assaulted by someone she once trusted with her heart and her future, her husband, Lance Mason. He didn't just hit her. He beat her in front of their children, biting her, punching her, and slamming her head against the dashboard and pavement. Imagine what that does to a mother, not just the terror of the moment, but the unbearable pain of knowing your children saw it happen. For Aisha, the aftermath wasn't just about healing her body. It was about trying to protect her daughters, keeping life stable, and somehow carrying on under the weight of what had been done to her. She still had to drop her children off for visits. She still had to co-parent with a man who had shattered her both physically and emotionally. And through it all, she had to smile for her students, show up for her daughters, and keep moving forward. Even though she filed for divorce just days after the assault and tried to reclaim her life, the fear never fully left her. Every custody exchange was a reminder. Every text, every call, every encounter, they were moments loaded with silent trauma. She may have appeared strong, and she was, but strength doesn't erase pain. So when we say that Lance left her with emotional scars that would never fully heal, we're talking about more than injury. We're talking about the fear, the anxiety, the nightmares, and the quiet courage it took to keep going. Aisha survived that assault. But the damage done reached far beyond that one brutal day. It seeped into the fabric of her daily life, casting a shadow she could never fully escape. When it came time for sentencing, Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley made one thing painfully clear. This was not a crime of passion or impulse. He described the scene as horrific and called Lance Mason's actions unforgivable. In court, O'Malley argued passionately for a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. He emphasized that Lance had made a cold, deliberate decision to kill Aisha that day, regardless of who was present, including their own daughters. Despite the brutality of the murder and the devastation left behind, the final sentence offered a faint and distant possibility of release. Lance Mason was sentenced to life in prison, but with the eligibility for parole in the year 2054, when he would be 87 years old.
Many feeling the pain of her loss are reaching out and reflecting.
Tonight, hundreds of people showed up to remember this teacher who spent her whole life in Shaker Heights. And Chris Ty joins us now with why some in her community feel that they let her down.
That's right. We're talking about her sorority sisters. Some have known her since the 3rd grade. They say there were gaps in the system, gaps they could have helped her avoid. And while they promised to turn words into more fervent action, tonight the bell sounded and a life was beautifully remembered.
After 44 years of illuminating the lives of others, Aisha Fraser saw her big 3 communities, her sorority, her students, and her Shaker, return the favor tonight.
Aisha had a slew of best friends, best friends.
Always had a smile on her face, never was mean, was never the mean girl.
The mean girl, no. The graceful girl, absolutely. Making the lyrics of this song particularly poignant. Grace was here tonight, but so was anger.
But I'm angry at Lance. We were both proteges of the late Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones.
And she did what she had to do to get away. She just encountered a monster. God bless you, my brother. You gonna need it.
It's hoped that time and the justice system will handle that part of the story. Tonight, while anger was in the air, love won out.
Just a sweet soul since third grade. Sweet soul. That's what we're seeing today.
And that's what we're going to remember about our sister, is that she was a positive light in such a world of darkness.
Her sorority has a committee dedicated to helping women that have gone through abuse. Her death is going to make them redouble efforts to make sure fewer women fall through those cracks they talked about when they need support. There was also anger that Lance Mason, her ex that Tom talked about, who is the suspect in this case, came from such privilege that he had choices that many don't have, Sarah, and that he took the wrong path time and again.
So many elements to this that are hard to hear.
Troubling.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Well, to be clear, police have not yet charged Mason with Frazier's death. Tonight, he faces felonious assault charges. Court documents state after her murder, Mason drove into a police cruiser while attempting to flee the scene, leaving the officer with serious injuries to his legs and ribs.
As part of the proceedings, Mason took the stand to give a statement. He claimed to accept responsibility for murdering Aisha Frazier, his ex-wife, yet his words quickly turned into a disjointed, rambling speech. Instead of focusing on the life he had taken, he spoke mostly about how much he loved his daughters. Daughters who were present in the home that day, forced to witness the unthinkable. He came to that house with a knife. He knew what he was going to do. And in front of his children, he stabbed Aisha to death, ending the life of a woman who had once trusted him, shared a home with him, and given birth to those same children he claimed to love. When it came time to sentence him, Judge John Haas did not give Mason the maximum penalty. Instead, he handed down a sentence of life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years. Mason, then 52 years old, would be eligible for release in 2054. As he was led out of the courtroom, it marked the end of the legal process. But for Aisha's family and friends, the pain is something that will never fully end. In the wake of her death, the Shaker Heights community was devastated. The school district, where Aisha was a beloved 6th grade teacher, canceled all professional development to allow space for grieving. On the evening of November 19th, a vigil was held at Woodbury Elementary School. Students, staff, families, and neighbors gathered to remember Aisha's compassion, her dedication, and the powerful legacy she left behind.
Slew of best friends, best friends.
Always had a smile on her face. Never was mean, was never the mean girl.
The mean girl, no. The graceful girl, absolutely. Making the lyrics of this song particularly poignant. Grace was here tonight, but so was anger.
But I'm angry at Lance. We were both proteges of the late Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones.
And she did what she had to do to get away. She just encountered a monster. God bless you, my brother. You gonna need it.
It's hoped that time and the justice system will handle that part of the story. Tonight, while anger was in the air, love won out.
Just a sweet soul since third grade. Sweet soul. That's what we're seeing today.
And that's what we're going to remember about our sister, is that she was a positive light in such a world of darkness.
Her light continues to live on in every life she touched. In the wake of Aisha Frazier's tragic death, the community of Shaker Heights responded swiftly and with deep compassion. The Shaker Heights Teachers Association launched a GoFundMe campaign to support Aisha's 2 daughters, Audrey and Ava. Within the first 24 hours, the campaign raised over $45,000, an outpouring of love and support that spoke volumes. Eventually, the fund grew to more than $230,000, contributed by over 3,200 donors, all moved by the heartbreaking loss and united in their desire to help Aisha's girls. Aisha's mother, Millicent Frazier, has been one of the most vocal and courageous critics of the justice system that allowed this tragedy to happen. She expressed outrage that Lance Mason, after his brutal assault on Aisha in 2014, had been released after just 7 or 8 months. He never reformed, she said. He should have never been let out. The horror of November 17, 2018, did not end with the crime scene. It reignited an urgent conversation about how domestic violence cases are handled in Ohio and across the nation. It also led to the creation of House Bill 3, known as Aisha's Law. The proposed legislation sought to strengthen protections for domestic violence victims by elevating strangulation to a standalone felony offense, ensuring 24/7 judicial access for protection orders, requiring law enforcement to be trained in identifying high-risk situations and imposing stronger penalties on abusers. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Truth in Crimes. We're grateful you took the time to reflect on such a difficult and meaningful case. We'd truly love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments because your voice matters here.